Hello, Assalamu alaikum, good morning everyone, and welcome to District 79 webinar. This platform where we take our educational sessions and training for the District 79. Today we have our training session from speaker to trainer, and the presenters will be DTM Abdullah Sharif and DTM Saud Al-Umair. And I'll be your facilitator, myself, Mashari Dalbihi. For any question, please write your question in the question mark or participate by raising your hand, and we will give you the control for the mic. Please help me welcome and start. We will start with the DTM Abdullah Sharif, and please help me welcome to Master Abdullah Sharif. He will have the control right now.
طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Good morning everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you, Toastmaster Bushari, for taking the lead and facilitating our session today. I would like also to thank our trainer, DTM Saud Al-Umair, for being with us today to give us more insights about this program from speaker to trainer. And I would like to thank you all, our potential trainers, to be available with us today to spend these 2 hours together to learn from each other. This session will be recorded for those who will not be able to make it today to be with us. They can go back and listen to it at any point of time. And the idea of this program was initiated last month, that we need to have a pool of trainers from our professional speakers to help themselves to discover the trainers within themselves. This is the first. And to help our members among our district to learn more about Toastmasters educational programs and the overall training skills. So we shared this idea with the district that we need to have this pool of trainers, and what could be done to help initiating this idea. The district, under the leadership of Toastmasters Sulaiman Al-Madi, our district director, agreed, and the district formed from speaker to trainer committee. So it is now a committee. I'm leading this committee for both Arabic and English, and I'm sure that we will end up with great results with your support and help. And mainly this program depends on you, gentlemen. So we are here only facilitating the program, giving the only guidelines to help you conducting your sessions. If you are not willing to conduct the sessions, you have no capability to be in front of people and present your presentations, there will be no solution from our side. So the main thing that you need to have the willingness to be part of this program and to have the capability to take the lead and to train the people. One might ask a question. We have completed most of the requirements, all requirements, and we are all now DTMs. And I will answer him that, yes, we have completed our requirements. Most of us are DTMs now. But when we completed the requirements of being DTMs, it was only to fulfill the requirements of each level. It wasn't in mind that we need to discover ourselves, discover the trainer within ourselves. we need to do it now differently to make sure that when we deliver a session, when we conduct a training program, it is based on the training criteria that will be given by DTM Saud Al-Amir today. So we need to do it differently from training point of view, not from speaker point of view. We have prepared this card that will help us and guide us to complete our program. The program will last for 4 months only. It started in 1st of December this month, and it will continue with us till end of March 2017. So it is only 4 months. It depends on you, and if you are not helping yourself, willing to help others, we cannot force anyone. And we put this card just to help you to record your progress. You might conduct first workshops within your club, then go outside your club for neighboring clubs, either within your area, within your division. Then you can do more workshops, but now for longer time. We'll start with short time, maybe 15 to 20 minutes workshop from the different series we have. Then you can go to the longer period of workshops that will take from 1 to 4 hours. And the purpose here to show the capability of training others, not speaking in front of others. Training is different from speaking. So this is in general the program, what will happen in the program, how can we help and support each other in this program, what to do, how to do. This is in general for this program. I will not take much time of introducing the program. I believe it is very simple, very clear, and if you have any question, we can answer your questions in the beginning of this session before we start with Saud Al-Amir. We might entertain few questions to clarify some points before we start with Saud. So, Toastmaster Mshari, if any questions that we can answer up to 9:15, then we will hand over the mic to DTM Saud Al-Amir.
Okay, DTM Abdullah. Please, for the attendees, if you have any question, you can raise your hand and participate through the mic, or type your question in the question bar box, so that I could say your question.
Okay, Toastmaster Mshari, if there is no question and everything is clear, we can move to the next session.
There is one question from Toastmaster Alina. The 1 to 4 hours training, can it be done as a webinar?
We prefer here to conduct all sessions on face-to-face basis. The online training, webinar training could be done, but it will not be as effective as if we are in front of people, interacting with them and getting the feedback from them directly. So we encourage people here to use face-to-face training. There is no issue to conduct it in webinar, but maybe in the advanced stage, not in the beginning stage. Thank you, Alina, for your question.
Yes, and there is another question from Toastmaster Abir. If I started conducting training session, who will evaluate me?
Yes, great question. Toastmaster Abir, you need to select one or two from your members to evaluate you. So it is a matter of gaining some feedback, seeking feedback from our members. Like any training session, when you attend any training session, the trainer himself will distribute the feedback format to all attendees to evaluate him based on certain criteria. So we distributed already the criteria to evaluate you as a trainer, and you need to select your evaluators among your members. So it is not that matter that we need to have professional people to evaluate us. No, it is very simple. Anyone from your club or your community could help you and evaluate you. Thank you, Toastmaster Abir.
Yes, we have also from Toastmaster Arafa, you have two evaluator for training. How does that work?
Normal to select two evaluators. We prefer to have two. If you select one only to evaluate you, there is no issue. But when we recommend to have two evaluators to give you two different evaluation from two different point of view, just to help improving your skills. If you elect to go for one evaluator, it's your call. There is no issue. Even if you elect to not to have any evaluator, it is your call too. But the aim here that we need to improve our skills, our training skills. If you could have more than two evaluators, that will be great. But it is very simple. Just go ahead, select and elect your evaluators. Let them evaluate based on the format that we shared already with you. I hope I answered the question, Toastmaster Arafa.
Thank you, DTM Abdullah. Toastmaster Abdullah Khan is saying, what could be the topics?
Great. The topics also we shared with you all the series we have. We have different series. Toastmaster International recommended us to go for different series. I'm not sure if you see the screen in front of you. Do you see the screen, Toastmaster Shari?
Yes, the screen is clear.
Yes, we have these different series. We have the Successful Club series, and we have 11 modules. We have the Leadership Excellence series. We have 11 modules too. We have the Better Speaker series. We have 10 modules. We have the Success Leadership. We have 6 modules. And we have the Success Communication with 6 modules too. So we have all of these modules that you can select among them and conduct for your members. Not only this, you can conduct the officers training, club officers training. You can conduct this. You can conduct the judging and chief judging training. Any training that could help your members to improve their skills, go ahead and conduct it. But we recommend all the time to conduct workshops from the educational program that Toastmasters provided to us.
Thank you, DTM Abdullah. Toastmaster Abir is also following up with another question. Shall I inform you when I conducted the training?
We don't recommend this to inform us. We need them to inform their club officers, area directors, and division directors to keep contacting their leaders and to keep this card filled all the time, because one day we will ask them to show us the card for the next level, because there will be a next level. Those who will participate with us will conduct all of this training, will go with us for next level. So we might ask each trainer to provide us this card, but no issue to not share with us your progress. It is yours, it is your call, your program, and go ahead, do it. Just keep communicating to your club officers, area director, and division director.
Thank you to DTM Abdullah. Toastmaster Afdal is asking, I have already conducted a couple of training from this list. Does it count?
Thank you, Afdal, for your question. It might be counted for you if you are, and I mean here, satisfied with yourself. If you are satisfied with your sessions that you conducted to people, that you conducted them as a trainer, not as a speaker, not as only fulfilling the requirements of completing your ACB, ACS, ACG, or ALB, ALS. So it is your call. So here we will not ask you to bring us evidence that you conducted your training sessions professionally. We will not ask you any evidence. It is your call that if you are satisfied with your delivery, with your performance, no issue. We have no issue. Just you need to satisfy yourself. Thank you, Toastmaster Afdal.
Thank you, DTM Abdullah. How could we, this is from also a follow-up question from Hassan Khan, DTM Toastmaster Hassan Khan. How could we get the material for the mentioned topics?
Great question. After this, the Dropbox that will have all the material, and for each module you will find two files. One file is the slides themselves that contain the material. The other file is the trainer guideline. So after completing this session, you will find the Dropbox with all files that you can use.
Last question from Toastmaster Abir. Who should fill up the cards?
You. This card is yours. You need to put your name and fill this card. Keep it with you. This card also will help you in your progression in the different educational program, Toastmaster educational program. Whenever you complete workshops, different workshops, it will be required by the club officers to evaluate and to progress you in your educational program. So please fill it, keep it with you. Whenever you have been asked to provide it either to us or to your club president or your club officers, it is ready with you.
Thank you, DTM Abdullah. I think now there is no more questions.
Great, and I prefer, yes, to give more time to DTM Saud Al-Amir, because he will enlighten us with the more techniques, more skills that we require to shift from speaker to trainer. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies. And if you have more questions, we can entertain them end of this session.
Thank you, DTM Abdullah. And now we will give the control for DTM Saud Al-Amir to start the training session. The control is yours, DTM Saud.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bashari. Thank you, DTM Abdullah, for leading this initiative, and thank you, Toastmaster Bashari, for leading this session. It's my pleasure again to do from speaker to trainer. I became very familiar with this model because I have done it several times in Arabic and English, and today we are doing it in English. So the first thing that I would like to ask everybody, what's your purpose or objective from joining this initiative? And Saud, if we can have maybe some responses from the participants, please come to the mic and tell us what's your purpose when you join the WhatsApp group or this initiative or this webinar. Is it only just to fulfill the Toastmaster requirement, or you want to go beyond that? So if we have some responses, I appreciate that. On the mic, please.
Yes, please raise your hand once you are ready to answer that question. And we already have one, Toastmaster Afdal, and I will give him the control of the mic. Yes, Toastmaster Afdal. Toastmaster Afdal, you have the control. Your voice is not clear, Toastmaster Afdal. Sorry, Toastmaster Afdal, your voice is not clear. We have Toastmaster Azra.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, yes.
Yes, my answer to your question is that when I joined Toastmasters, I joined with an intention of maybe mentoring youngsters to learn how to speak. So I think this particular opportunity of speaker to trainer will help me do it.
Yes, was the voice clear to DTM Abdullah, DTM Saud?
Yes, yes, yes. Do we have any other responses, please?
Yes, please raise your hand if you have a response. Yes, Toastmaster Saeed.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and good morning to all. Actually,
Yes, the voice is clear, Toastmaster Saeed. Go ahead.
Actually, I'm a area director and I need to coach more than 5 clubs in my area. They need to be improved, and already I'm certified as a certification for train the trainer. But I'm sure with the sharing knowledge with other trainers and especially with DTM Saudi Emir is something will add the value to me, myself, and also it will improve my skill to share the knowledge with others and improve the coaching them in the way that will take them to the right way. That's why I respond.
Thank you very much, Mr. Said. Do we have any other responses?
Up to now, no. Anyone want to participate, please raise your hand. I think only the last one is Toastmaster Saeed.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you for those who came to the mic and told us about why they want to join. If you have decided that you want to go to the training, building and your speaking skills, so you want to be a trainer, I think that's a very wise decision, because normally good speaker can be good trainers in general. Not all the time, but yes, at least they have strong potential to be good trainers. So congratulations if you have decided that. I think you are in the right path, that use the Toastmaster platform to be a good trainer and building also on your skills, getting the opportunity to train and also to practice your training in the Toastmaster community and Toastmaster format. This is great. Toastmaster International, you know, when they build this one, they want people to actually utilize the skill they have in the Toastmaster, maybe to do training, not only for the Toastmaster. Yes, we might hear talking about the Toastmaster format, Toastmaster, the model and the series that the team Abdullah showed. But the idea is that it would be great if we go beyond that. For me, I started my journey and my professional training at the same time in 2007. And I noticed that the Toastmaster helped me a lot in building and improving my training skills and also facilitation skills. So I do a lot of training in the Toastmaster, and of course I do a lot of training outside the Toastmaster. But it really helped people who want to be professional trainers just join the Toastmaster and utilizing the speaking and building on these skills they have in the Toastmaster, and also use the Toastmaster material, because some people, yes, they want to be trained, but they want to do training, but they do not have the material, and they do not know how to prepare the material. In the Toastmaster format, we have this series, so we have lots of them. And if you are familiar with this series, you will always find also the trainer guide, which shows how to do this series. So if you are going to train in any of the Toastmaster series, make sure that you read the trainer manual very well. They call it the facilitator or presenter manual, whatever they call it. But make sure that you read it very well. It will tell you how to introduce the session. Anyway, we'll just go on and let's start with the objective of this one. Okay, so the objective of we are going to see the gap analysis to determine the training objectives, because every training is built to bridge a certain gap. So the first thing that we need to do, we need first to identify the gap, and based on that we can develop the training objectives. Create a lesson plan based on the adult learning theories or adult learning principles. So we need to know how adults learn and what are the principles, and based on that we need to develop our lessons plan. And also choosing from that, we choose the right training method or style. What is this going to be? Participation, what kind of visuals we are going to use, what kind of activities we are going to use. And of course, we need to apply facilitative techniques to engage, to make it interactive, and to make people participate in the session. And finally, we need to know how to evaluate our programs to make sure that we bridge the gap that we have identified at the beginning. Let's see, the gap analysis is something very simple. I mean, let's go to the training. So this is the model that Toastmasters have developed. The first is the gap analysis, then after that, lesson plan, then choosing the training method or styles, using the facilitation or facilitative techniques, and then evaluate the program. This is the Toastmaster model. So this is the TMI model, but other organizations, they have different models. But mostly you'll find that it's a 5-step model. Let's start with the gap analysis. How the gap analysis, it's very simple. First, we need to look at the current skill level versus required skill level. So for example, if you want to do maybe a training for your club, let's say an evaluation. So first that we need to see, what's the evaluation? How people conduct evaluation in the club? What are some of the techniques they use? What are some of the maybe shortcomings they have? And where do you want to take them? Or you want to make sure, for example, the evaluation is very supportive, very constructive, it's also helping, it's sincere. So based on that, you identify the gap. So you can say, okay, it seems that, yes, we do the evaluation, but it seems the evaluation that we do in the club is not motivating to people. So we need to make sure that people, when they evaluate, not only do they correct or maybe they analyze the speech, but also to motivate the speaker. So this is considered as a gap that you need to maybe build a program in it. And from that gap, you need to identify the training objective. And they say training objective, it must describe an action the training will perform. It means they perform as a result of attending the program. And normally, if you are familiar with the training programs, it will say by the end of the session, people will be able to do this, this, this. People will be able to motivate speakers when they do the evaluation. So it has to describe an action that will help in the measurement. And you need to be very specific and detailed. For example, you cannot say, okay, people as better attending of this session, they will be better trainers. in what aspect. So it has to be very specific, and you need to use action verb, always start with action verb. Be attainable and realistic, is make sure that you do not, for example, expect people from attending a 45 session that they are going to be good speakers or good trainers or good evaluators. So we have to be very reasonable and very specific about what exactly they are going to learn in this session. And so the first thing, and this is what I call training 101 for all the people who want to be training. The first thing that we need to know as trainers is we need to be familiar with the principles of adult learning. A gentleman called Malcolm Knowles identified how adults learn, because adults learn differently from children. The first principle, he said, the adults are autonomous and self-directed. So they take responsibility and accountability for their training. That's why Ditem Abdallah was saying that trainers here, they are accountable for their own training. If you want to choose, it's up to you. If you want to have, for example, as a trainer, if you want to choose to have evaluators, that's up to you. If you don't want to, that's up to you. So adults normally are autonomous. Even when we do the training, we need to make sure that we give them space. Adults, they direct themselves. Adults also have a accumulated foundation of life experience and knowledge. So when they come to the training, they have years of experience, they have knowledge. They do not consider the trainer or the facilitator as the main source of information. So good trainer, good facilitator should utilize the experience and knowledge of the participants. They are also goal-oriented. When they attend the training, they have specific goals they want to achieve. They come to the training to attend and also to fulfill a certain gap or maybe requirement in their career. And they are also relevancy oriented. They expect everything they learn is relevant either to their work or to their life. So if we are going to use case studies, stories, example, we need to make sure this is relevant to their work. They are also practical. If they learn something, they need to make sure that they can apply it. If it's only theoretical part, because people, when they attend the training, normally they want to develop certain skills. So they want to make sure that the skills they learn in the training, they can practice it when they go back to their work or their life. And also they need to be shown respect. Everybody, but I mean, it's different from children than adults. So some example of some trainers, if they want to ask someone or something, they might just, use the finger. They just point finger to them. In adults, it does not work. If you are going to someone, you should not point finger to them. You just maybe send, open palm, or maybe just raise your hand for that. And also respect. It's important that we know the name of the participants and use their names and call them with their names. We need to make sure that we respect also their privacy. So not to put someone in the spot. Okay, adults also should participate and accept responsibility for their learning. If we ask them to do something, we expect them to take responsibility and do it. Children, they will always expect the teacher to just chase them and tell them what to do. Adults, no, they take responsibility. And the climate also should be friendly and informal. So these are what I call the training 101. This is the first thing that we need to learn when we are training. If you haven't seen this before, if you haven't read this before, it's important that you go and read about it. Just put Principle of Adult Learning in the Google and Google it, and you'll find books, you'll find articles, you'll find maybe videos in it. But if you have not taken this one, then I think still you are, but still, I mean that there's a lot you missed. Because everything, when we designed the program, and also conduct the program, we need to consider the principles of adult learning. By the way, if you have any questions at any time, please just raise your hand or type questions, because as we go, there will be a lot of information to be shared, so we don't want to miss anything. So please let me know if you have any questions. And Toastmaster Mishari, whenever we have questions, let me know, please. We can stop at any point.
Okay, sure. To DTM Abdul, DTM Saud.
Great. Sometimes, yes, we need to make sure that it's a very facilitative and it's very interactive session with the trainer. And sometimes we might need to use some lecturing. And they say if you are going to lecture, do not do more than 15 minutes. And even 15 minutes is too long for adults because attention span is very short. If you keep talking for 15 minutes, it's okay. If you go beyond that, you will lose your audience. So make sure that every 15 minutes you ask people either a question or do an activities or reflection or anything. And also make sure that you use visual aids that will help people to remember things. So it's important that, and that's a difference between speakers and trainers. Speakers, presenters, yes, they can speak, and they only use their body language, their voice, while facilitator trainers, they use visual aids, also other tools to engage people. And always ask questions to promote involvement, to make sure people get involved, participate for reflection, ask them questions. Make sure this is a good facilitation tools. And also sometimes if you need to use handouts, that also will help people, because you don't want people to spend all their time just writing whatever on the screen. So make sure that you give them some handouts that they will remember. Okay. We could talk about some of the characteristics of a successful trainer. And I think the first one is being passionate. If people do not have the passion to trainer, they should not do it. Audience can easily identify if the trainer has passion or not. Passion is demonstrated in the way we carry ourselves, in the way we talk, in the way we present, in the way we show our energy. If the trainer has very low energy, maybe because he or she is not passionate, is just doing it maybe to fulfill some requirements. So even in the Toastmaster, I know some people do it just to fulfill the requirements for the leadership and communication. If that's the case, if you do not have the passion for training, do not do it. Yes, you want to do this for the requirement of the Toastmaster, but do not go beyond that, unless you have a strong passion for training. Because training is not something you do for money. I mean, yes, trainers, they get good money, they get good payment for that. But if you are not passionate about it, you cannot continue. Also, you need to be very knowledgeable about your topic. So you need to be prepared very well. You need to go beyond the basic information that you will present to the participants. Good trainers are also very flexible. In every training session, you are going to change something, to adapt to something, because of the time, because of the place, because of the number of participants. Or maybe because... So always be flexible to change. And be enthusiastic. Enthusiasm shows the passion the trainer has, the willingness to do the job. When we talk about adults, we need to make sure that we watch our attitudes. Attitude is very important. In the way we respond to the questions, in the way we respond to anything that happens in the class. And effective communicators, this is okay. I mean, so for us in the Toastmaster, I think we have the advantage of being good communicators. So this is something that's very important for that when we talk about, some people think about the training is only communication. No, it's not a communication. It's not a presentation. Although communication is a main part of it, it's important, but we need to make sure that we also learn the other skills. Continuous development. Every day you need to know something. Every time you do a session, you need to change something. Always be open to change your material, your presentation, your activities, anything. Always try to read about the training, because every day there is something, either sometime now we have the technology. And for today's session, I will be using something I use for the first time, so I'll show it at the end. Make sure that you listen very well, take notes, because we have a quiz at the end. Good trainers also are good coaches, and they give good feedback. Coaching, it means just asking questions. Sometimes you might ask questions and you get a response from one of the participants. Just ask questions. Why do you think that? Can you give me an example of why that? What happens if we do not? So this is coaching, is asking questions. Feedback, in a very simple form of feedback, just saying thank you to the participant for contributing to the session. So you ask questions, you receive some responses, just say thank you. This is a feedback in a very simple format. Let's look some of the behaviors of good and bad trainers. I will not read it, but you see this is in the right one. In the right we have the bad trainers, on the left side we have the good trainers. So please just take 2 minutes, read them, and if you have any questions about them or a reflection or comments, just come to the mic and tell us about it. So I'll give you 3 minutes, just read it for yourself. Okay, I think you had enough. Okay, if you have any questions about them, Toastmaster Mishari, if you have any questions about behaviors of good and bad trainers or anything we have talked about so far, please.
Yes, Toastmaster Saud. We have from Toastmaster Arafa, he's asking, actually these questions were before this topic.
That's fine.
Can we use these workshops for online as well as in person, so people who could not attend can also benefit from training? It is something I want to consider in the future.
If you are going to build the skills, either your skills or the participant skills, then face-to-face training is very important, very critical. Online training is maybe sometimes good for information. I was really hesitant when they asked me to do this session, because I do this train the trainer in class all the time, and I have a 3-day program, I have 1-day program. When Bitim Abdullah and others asked me to do it in the webinar, I was very hesitant because there's a lot of things we miss when we do it online. So if you are going to build your skills, I would prefer that you do not do things online. Try to do it in a class. Some people will miss it, but that's fine. But at least when you do it in a class, you are building skills and interaction will be much better. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, Toastmaster Afdal, under bad training, has a message to deliver. Can you elaborate with that, please?
Okay, a bad trainer is someone who is presenting. So yes, they have, regardless of the participant, regardless of what their need, they just have something to pass. This is normally the characteristics of speakers and presenters, not trainers. A trainer should work in specific learning objectives. A good trainer should work on also on the requirements and the need of the participants. It's not okay, I have a message, I will just say it and whether people understand it or not, this is my message. So they have to make sure that they meet clear learning objectives. Because normally this is a speaker. When we do speech, what we do, we have specific message we want to deliver to the participant. In training, this is something different. If the message is not relevant to the participant, if it's not practical, remember, these are adults. They want to make sure that whatever you are saying should be related to their world. Any other questions?
So far, no. There's no questions.
Okay, so maybe then we can continue. So let's talk about facilitation, because normally people say, okay, facilitators, trainers, instructors, speakers, presenters, these are a lot of things. So what is facilitation? Because this is now becoming a new trend in the training. So they say, when you train, make sure that you facilitate. In order to be a good trainer, you have to be a good facilitator. So what's facilitation? Facilitation is helping the participant by guiding them through the process of discussion. So it's processes and discussion to assist their need and wants and come up with the plans to accomplish high level of performance. And when we facilitate, we need to make sure that we maintain the discussion track. So someone might say, what's the difference between training and facilitation? Facilitation is a skill of a good trainer. A good trainer is a good facilitator. And the idea of facilitation is more engagement of participants. Maybe if we look at the next slide, that will show the major components of facilitation. So facilitation means the sense of pacing and timing. Managing the timing. The pacing, it makes sure that we are not too slow or not too fast. Facilitation is also using summaries and debrief of key learning points. It's also knowledge about the participant background and their business context. Remember, these are adults and relevance is very important for them. So we need to know more about their background or their business. Facilitation is also asking good questions. And we'll talk later on about the questions. About engagement of all participants. That's why it's important we make it interactive. Active listening is very important because you will be asking questions. So as a trainer, trainers, we need to make sure that we listen very well. And we have clear learning objectives that should be shown at the beginning of the session. So people know what will the session be about. Energy at all time. And also grouping, using small groups, pairs, and triads. So mainly it's about engagement. Mainly it's about involving all participants. It's about a discussion, asking questions, get responses. And just remember, if you're realistic to training 101 about the principle of adults learning, participants or adults, they come training with knowledge and experience. So we need to make sure that we build on that. A gentleman called Gagne, he identified 9 events of learning. So this is how the session will go through, from the beginning to the end. First, you need to start by gaining the attention of people. It's just showing the people because the attention will be built on the need. Just show the people that we can ask, for example, ask for expectations at the beginning to get attention. Then describe the objective. So what is the session all about? When we talk about objectives, stimulate recall of prior knowledge. So we can ask the people about what do they know about the topic? What do they want to know about the topic? What is their knowledge about it? Then after that, you present the material and provide them with some guidance in how to use the skills, then ask them to practice. Because unless they practice it at the class, it will be very hard for them to practice when they go back. So they practice, then they talk about it, they provide some feedback. How did they find the tools? How can they use it? With some of the difficulties or challenges they have faced. Then you need to assess their performance, provide some coaching about that, and enhance retention and transfer. So at the end, this is the summary. Ask people, okay, so what did you learn and how we are going to choose it when you go back to your work? By the way, we are not talking about Toastmaster context only. We're talking about general training. It applies for Toastmaster, it applies everywhere. Okay, these are some of the methods that we sometimes use in the session. We can use case study or demonstration, exercise, role play. So these are some of the methods that we can use to engage people. When we use this, we need to make sure first, participant experience a situation. So they have a few case study. We ask them, we present it and ask them to do it, do the role play or their exercise. So they have to practice it. Then they share reactions. How did they find it? What was helping? What was not helping? What were some of the challenges? So they talk about the exercise. Then the trainers, based on that, you just generalize the situation. So it's obvious, for example, you can say, so it's obvious when we are in the situation, this is what we need to do. Then participants need to apply the learning or the principles from this. So these are some of the interactive methods that we can use in our sessions. Always make sure when you build your training, make sure that you have some space for the people to practice and reflect. We talked about the questions, and since facilitation is always about asking questions, so sometimes we use open-ended questions. And of course, we also use, sometimes we need to use closed-ended questions. Open-ended questions, it's always we call the WH questions. What, when, where, how, and why. So these are the WH questions we need to ask to get the opinion from the participants. Questions that provoke thinking. So that will make people to reflect and think, why we do this? Example, if we are talking, for example, about evaluation. And sometimes people giving a very harsh evaluation. You can ask, so why do some people do or give harsh evaluation? What makes them do this? So that will provoke things. Coaching questions is just asking more clarification from the participants. As an example, someone provided a response. I say, I think evaluation, people think that harsh evaluation is helpful for the participant or the speaker. See, what makes him do this? What are some of the examples of harsh maybe evaluation? So this is like a coaching question. Survey questions, reality checking, and sometimes we use it at the beginning of the training. Okay, raise your hand. How many people have attended the trainer before? So people raise their hand. How many people conducted some session in the Toastmaster? Raise your hand. So we call them survey questions. Probing question, just like coaching questions. So like, what else? What else? What else? If you want to generate more response from the participant, you ask them, okay, what else? What else? So people provide ask questions. Questions to avoid, we need to make sure that we avoid close-ended questions if we need an opinion. Example. For example, if you have explained maybe some a process or maybe a techniques, a specific technique to the participant. A killing questions, I call it a killing question, is asking the people, so did you find it helpful? This is a close-ended question. And some people will say no. So what will happen actually? That will put you in a very embarrassing situation as a trainer. Make sure if you need an opinion, ask open-ended questions. So instead of asking, did you find the technique helpful? People say no, sometimes. Ask, how did you find the technique? What do you like about the technique? What are some of your comments on the technique? So always open-ended the questions rather than close-ended the questions. If you have questions at any time, please stop me, Michelle.
Yes, DTM Saud, there are two questions. From Toastmaster Abir, can we have the training evaluation format or template that we can use to let other evaluate us when we do the training?
Okay, I can provide you with my template. I have a template sometime I use, so I can send it to you if you wish. I'm not sure in the Toastmaster we have a specific template for evaluating a session, but I have some templates that I develop myself, and if you want to just let me know, send you an email and I'll send it to you.
Toastmaster Arafat, to facilitating a meeting from the Toastmaster Advanced series. This is the book. He's asking about some part you reached in.
Sorry, I did not get that question. What's the question, Mr.
Yeah, he's asking, is there a book to facilitate a meeting from the Toastmaster Advanced series?
Okay, because normally we have two types of facilitation. We can either facilitate a meeting or facilitate training. So today we are talking about facilitating a training, but yes, sometimes people need to facilitate. I think there is part of the advanced communication manuals. I can't remember which one. It's about panel discussion facilitation. So panel discussion, and yes, I think there is. I'm sure I can't remember which manual, but it's one of the 15 manuals of the advanced. There's one about facilitating a meeting.
Thank you, DTM Saud.
If DTM Abdullah is here, maybe he can tell us which one. But I remember it's one of the manuals. It's about the panel discussion facilitation, and I think there is one on facilitating meeting. Any other questions, or we can move ahead?
Oh, no further question, DTM Saud.
Great. So talk about giving feedback, because we said one of the characteristics of good trainer to give feedback. By the way, feedback, it could be motivational. Motivational, that means positive, or could be developmental. Developmental is negative, but instead of saying negative, we say developmental feedback. So sometimes when we are giving feedback, we need to make sure that we do not overload people, giving too much feedback to the people. So make sure that it's just maybe one at a time, especially talking about developmental feedback. And be specific. When we tell someone, example, oh, by the way, I mean, you need to be maybe more open. You need to participate more. So we need to be very specific about and also respond immediately. If you notice one of the participants has done something maybe that shouldn't have been done, so you are going to give a developmental feedback, make sure you do it immediately. Do not wait until the end of the day or maybe the end of the program to tell the person, by the way, I have noticed this. So it's better we give it immediately. And be tactful. Make sure that you just wrap it in a very good way when you give feedback, so it should not be harsh. It has to be polite and tactful for the people. Make sure, and also be very clear about how the feedback will help the people. Flip chart, because we said also trainers use visuals, and probably the main one that we use is flip chart. So when we use flip chart, when we use flip chart, first we need to make sure that we print a block letter, so it's visible to everybody. And sometimes if you are going to prepare your charts before the class, so some trainers, they prepare their flip chart before, make sure you write on every other page, because sometimes it might be visible from the candidate chart. So the next one is visible, so make sure that unless you are using a thick quality of the flip chart, so the next flip chart will not show. And sometimes they will be, especially talking about the people who will be preparing flip chart, because some trainers they prefer to have the flip charts prepared for the session. And so if you have maybe some important notes or pages, maybe you can just put small sticker on the side so at least you can see it. And no more than 7 lines and no more than 6 or 7 words in each line. Make sure that. The other thing is just make sure that when sometimes you are writing in flip chart, you just stand sideways, so you're not showing your back to the participant. And also use dark ink for that. Visual tips. And could be visual, it could be maybe the slides, or it could be anything. Just make sure they are simple, to the point, and make lettering bold so it's clear to the people. Write notes in the frames, use graphics, illustrate. This is just basic things, so let's just go about them. I don't want to go. This is because it's part of the module. That's why I'm showing it. But because I need more time to talk about 2 major aspects that are not part of the speaker to trainer module, but I have just added them to make sure that when we do training, at least we cover all the perspective. So we need to make sure that we need to aware that people have different learning styles or preferences. And I'm sure if you are a trainer, then you are familiar with these 3, with the VAC model. VAC model, let's say that, okay, in the preference, some people by nature, they are visual learners. So they learn better when they see things. So these people, they like to see slides, they like to see colors, they like to see pictures, they like to see videos. So if we are not using this, we lose them. Second type of people are auditory. So they learn better when they hear things. These people, they will enjoy the discussion. They will enjoy the discussion, questions and answers. They like this one, and this is they learn better. If you have some sound, videos with sound, yes, this is very helpful for them. The third type of people is kinesthetic. Kinesthetic, they want to do things. They want to touch things. They want to work in things. So definitely in every class, you will have some people who are visuals, auditory, and kinesthetic. The question is, do we need to know the type of people we have in the class? And how can we utilize the VAC? So this is a question I would like to hear some responses from the audience. So the question again, do we need to know every person learning preference? And how can we use, why do we need to know the VAC? So please, if you have responses.
Yes, for the attendees, please, if you have any answer, please raise your hand so that I will give you the control. Toastmaster Fahmi.
Good morning.
Good morning, Toastmaster. Please unmute yourself. You just muted yourself right now. Toastmaster Fahmi, we cannot hear you. Now we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. What I'm saying is, in the training, I prefer to know who are my audience. And this is a very important tool.
But I'm saying, is it possible if you have 20 people in the class, do you need to know each person learning preference? Is that easy to do? Do we have any responses to Toastmaster Mushari?
Toastmaster Fahmy, you have the control if you want to answer.
I'm trying to use the microphone. Do you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we can.
Okay, what I'm saying, in the training session, I would like to see the majority so I can be so close to them. And by each session, I can get more familiar with more people.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any other responses?
Yes, Toastmaster Abdulaziz. Please unmute yourself, Toastmaster Abdulaziz.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum and good morning.
Assalamu warahmatullah. Hello, Yusuf.
Thank you, Tim Saud, and I am enjoying your session.
You are most welcome, Yusuf.
Answering the question, answering the question that I think it is good to know the audience, but it is not. It is impossible to know each one. So it's important. So I can utilize all the tools that relate to each of the audience, so I can share all the ways that suits every kind. That is what I think.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdulaziz Shurkan. Do we have any other responses?
Toastmaster Afdal, he sent the response. He typed the response. No, we could incorporate all three styles in our training, material and content. And Toastmaster Arafa also respond as for training is flip chart be better than PowerPoint? Oh no, that's a question. He's asking for training. Is flip chart better than PowerPoint program?
Okay, I will just give a short answer to this one. If you have a big audience, flip chart cannot be used. So definitely you need to use PowerPoint. You need to use PowerPoint. You need to use a projector. If you have a big audience, if you have a small audience, then a flip chart would be probably more convenient. We could use both, but definitely you have big audience, you cannot use a flip chart. Okay, back to our questions, and thank you very much. Toastmaster Fahmy, it would be great if we know the preferences of people. The idea is impossible to know their preferences before they go, unless you are going to send them maybe the analysis and they go through the surveys and you get the response and the reports on them. The right approach for this one is that when we design our material, when we conduct our material, we need to consider that in the class, regardless of the size of the audience, you have people who are visual, you have people who are auditory, you have people who are kinesthetic. So we need to make sure that we use different styles to satisfy all these three preferences. And statistics say that 66% of people are visual learners. So they learn better when they see things. So the idea is just to use different learning styles, different training styles in our session. We make sure that we address all the three learning preferences. And the other way that you said, maybe we can, for example, we can send to people the link, and this is what just maybe more about, what's the visual, what's the auditory, what kinesthetic. But if you prefer that, you say, no, I need to know their type. You can send, for example, this is, by the way, this is one of the website. You just go and do like answer 20 questions, 24 questions. And based on that, it will tell you about your learning preferences. Are you more of visual, or more of auditory, or more of kinesthetic? So this is one of the, it's a free, you can just go respond to the questions and it will give you about your learning style. So this is very important that we know, because when we design our material, we need to consider the three learning preferences that people have. So we will use a variety of training methods and techniques in the session. The other thing that we need to consider is the HBDI. And I think if you have trainers, probably they know the Herman Brain Dominance instruments, where it shows the thinking style of people. And Herman identified 4 types of people. Their thinking style, both in the hemisphere that they use in their brain. So some people are analytical. These people, they like specific figures, facts, logic. These people, they want specific details. They might ask many questions. So they want to have very specific details. Second type is the practical people. Practical. So practical, they just want to do it. They just want to see a clear structure. Then after that, they will do it. So these are the people are fast. They are achievers. They are practical. Just show them the way, tell them the structure, tell them the question, and let them work, and they will do immediately. The third type is the relational. Relational, these are the people that they enjoy working with others. They are concerned about the connection with others. These people, they will enjoy when you ask them to work in small groups. Some group activity, they will enjoy this one, they like it. The fourth people are the experimental. Experimental, they want to see the big picture. These people, they want to have the area where they can be very creative. So this also will help us when identify people in our class. It will help us first, to make sure that we address all the 4 thinking styles. It will also help us when we deal with different participants. Because when we know the 4 types, it will help us when we deal with different participants. Because normally in the class we have, for example, troublemaker or aggressors. These are the people who come. By the way, I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about Toastmaster context, but I'm talking about general and audience. Troublemakers, these are the people sometimes, especially those who are sent by their company. If someone is paying for the training themselves from their pocket, normally they come to learn. They don't want to waste time or maybe making trouble. Or sometimes if you are doing like corporate training, you might find some people who are like this one. And before we just classify them as troublemaker or aggressors, maybe we need to be sure that we are not the cause of this. So sometimes the trainer himself maybe was rude or maybe aggressive. That will make some people troublemaker. You have also people who are very enthusiastic. They want to talk all the time. So these are talkative people. So they might maybe auditory. They might maybe have some thinking style that they want to talk all the time. They want to participate. So we just need to make sure that, okay, for the troublemaker, aggressor, how do we deal with them? It's good we start with the ground rules. So we set the ground rules from the beginning, so people know, okay, this is what you need to do. You need to, and encourage people to participate. Encourage people to be engaged, interactive. But if you have someone who is making trouble, maybe making jokes or maybe trying to take the discussion off track, maybe at the beginning, at least just eye contact with the person, just so saying that I can see what you're doing. If the person continues, you might maybe talk to him or her in the break. If the person still is the same thing, you might just ask him to go home. Because he will not only disturb your class, but he will disturb the learning environment in general. Okay, enthusiastic, wants to talk all the time. These are people good. Just make sure that they do not dominate the discussion all the time. So you might say, okay, thank you very much. Would like to hear from someone else. So at least they are not dominating the discussion. Key learners, these are the people who come to learn, to have fun, and also to meet new people. These are great. Holiday makers. And by the way, you see most of these people in corporate training. Holiday makers, these are the people, they are happy because they're away from work. So they want to be off. They want to have fun. They want to have a discussion. They want to meet new friends, but they don't want to do anything. So you just make sure that we identify these people and make sure that we engage in the training. We have also hostages, and hostages, again, you'll see them more in the corporate training. Hostages, they don't want to be in the training. They were forced to attend the training. Their managers forced them to attend the training. So they don't want to do anything. They want to disturb the class. Or sometimes these people are very shy. They don't want to do anything. They are sometimes find them passive, shy. They don't want to participate. They don't want to do anything. And sometimes you have resistor blockers. They interfere with the process. Every time you say something, they say, no, no, this is not true. This will not work. And the reason we have sometimes resistor blockers is because the training is not relevant to their work. The training is not practical. So this will take us back to the principles of adult learning. So make sure that when we bring an example or case, it has to be relevant to their work. Otherwise, you'll say, no, no, this is different. Our environment is different. This will not work in our company. This will not work in our place. So make sure it's relevant to their work. Okay, last thing they'll talk about is the training evaluation, because I need to have time for the quiz, so please do not go before you take the quiz. How do we evaluate the training? When we do the training is meant to address some gap either in the organization or in the individual level. So a gentleman called Kirkpatrick identified 4 levels of learning. Start with the one on the top. This is level 1. Level 1 is the reaction. So normally at the end of the training, you receive some kind of form, evaluation form. They say, oh, did you like the training? How was the training? How was the place? How was the food? How was this one? So it's the reaction of the participant to the learning. This is what we call level 1. Level 1 is a reaction. And normally level 1 is done by the participants. So they evaluate the trainer, they evaluate the material, they evaluate the environment, they evaluate everything that's related to the session. So it's done by and normally this is done for every training, they do the evaluation. So this is the reaction. Second level is the learning. And normally the learning evaluation is done by the trainer. Maybe a quiz, a role play, for example, case study. This is just to evaluate how did the participant learn the material. So it's done by the instructor, and again, it is at the end of the session. It's a quiz, it's a test, any kind of assessment, anything. Level 3 is the behavior. So it's the behavior of the participant as a result of attending the session. And normally this is done 3 to 6 months after the training. And who will do the evaluator? It's their managers. So their manager, they will evaluate their behavior as a result of attending the training. So maybe after 3 months, you can send the evaluation to the manager and say, okay, what have you noticed a change? Did the person learn this? So you ask them how they behave after the training, but normally it's a 3 to 6 months after the training. Level 4 is a result. So this is the impact on the organization as a result of people attending the training. And normally this result or the impact is done by the training function or training department. Okay. So level 1 is the reaction, level 2 is the learning, level 3 is behavior, and level 4 is the result or impact. A gentleman also, so these are the same. You see, satisfaction is the same, the reaction or the learning, the impact, the result. But now we have a new one, it's the ROI, return on investment. Return on investment, why do I say it's 4 plus 1? Because 1, 2, 3, and 4 were developed by Kirkpatrick. The ROI, the one at the top, is by a gentleman called Jack Phillips. So Jack Phillips, he said that the purpose of the training is make sure that we generate more money. So we invest some money. We need to in the training. We need to make sure that we generate more money as a result of people attending the training. So it's always about money. That's why I did the training investment to provide a positive return on investment. So it's always ROI is only about money. It's not about business impact. It's not about result. It's about the money. Do you have any questions about the evaluation, by the way?
Yes, we have one question from Toastmaster Abdulaziz Shwekan. What is the difference between Herman classification and DISC classification for the personality traits?
Okay, the DISC normally, yes, DISC is again, it's a personality behavior. It's a behavior, while Herman is about the thinking style, how people think, while the DISC is how people behave. That's as far as I know.
Yes, there is no further questions to
No.
DTM, sir.
Okay, great. Because I want to have make sure that we have time. This is the learning pyramid. So probably I think everybody has seen this one. If you look at from the top, if we are only, this is about the retention rate, how people retain information. So they attend the training, and after the training, how much information they can retain. If the only way we are doing just lecturing, so it's only lecturing, not using any tools or interaction, anything, then people will retain 5% of the information. If we, in addition to the lecturing, we do also reading, so allow people to read something, that will maybe increase it to 10%. If we use audiovisuals, like slides, flip charts, or anything, that will maybe increase it to 20%. If in addition to that, we use the demonstration, so people actually do something, and we do some kind of a demonstration, that will make it 30%. But this is only in the passive teaching method. So the participants are not involved in the training experience. When you go to the participatory teaching methods, training methods, if we are using group discussion, so if we allow people to discuss in the group and share with their colleagues, then we will move it, increase it to 50%. If we allow people to practice what they have learned, then 75%. If we teach others, this will improve it to 90%. So if we allow people in the class to maybe teach others about it, that will make it 90%. So if we are in a stage of teaching something, training something, we will have a better chance of retaining information. Okay, if we have no questions, any questions, by the way?
No, so far there's no questions.
Okay, then I have a question for you. So please take your mobile, everybody, and go to this website. Go to www.kahoot.it. Okay, once you open it, will ask you to put the pin. The pin is 6572665. And you can use your name, then write your name. Okay. Okay.
DTM Saud, they're asking about the pin again. I think it's shown in the above of the screen.
It's, yeah, 6572665. So far we have Alina only. Okay, Afdal. Okay, well, please. Okay, how many attendees we have, Toastmaster Mishari?
We have 16, and we
Okay,
have
so only...
two of them want to participate in the mic. Maybe they have a question.
Let's do the quiz, then after that we'll do them.
Okay.
Okay, can everybody log in, please? We only have 4, so we'll have some questions about the material presented so far. And the winner will get a prize from Toastmaster International with the Toastmaster International logo. Okay, we have Abir, we have Abu Yusuf, so we have 6. So you'll get some, you will see the questions on my screen, and you will see the responses, the 4 multiple choice in your mobile. All you have to do is just choose, and for every question you have 20 seconds to respond. Okay. We are waiting for the rest, by the way. Okay, Ashik, please, 9. Okay, can we get everybody? Please log in. Did you say we have 16?
No, we have 14. Yes.
Okay, we are waiting for them to join. Come on, guys, why we are losing people? Do we have any more people joining or what? Okay, we'll give 1 minute, then we will start.
I have sent the website also page through the question box. You could check it on. Toastmaster Abir is saying it's not working.
No, Abir is now, she's joined. She joined now.
Oh, okay, good. Great.
She joined. It's kahoot.it, then put the pin and your name. You cannot join. Hamza said I cannot join. It's simple. Just go to your browser and put kahoot.it. Then you will need, you ask for the PIN number. PIN number is 6572665. Then put your name. It should work. I don't know. It's a normal website. You don't need to download anything. Okay, shall we start? Okay, so get ready. Now we started the first question. Toastmaster Mishari, if we have anyone join, we'll start.
I think 9 out of 14, you have the majority right now. So.
Okay, so we start? Okay, yes. So we will have the question, 20 seconds to respond. So you will see the question in my screen. And you will see then you have the questions, you have the responses. And 20 seconds for each question. Let's start. Okay. It's getting ready. Okay, HPDI refers to people learning preferences. Is it true or false? Great. Okay. It's false. The VAC is the learning preferences. HPDI is the thinking style. Okay, so 2 people get it right. Let's see who gets it right. So now you will see your name with the points. Okay, so Abir now is leading. Abir, then Abu Yusuf, then Alina, then Afdal and Balqis. Okay, so 2 people get it, Abu Yusuf and Abir. Great. Second question. Level 3 evaluation refers to. Okay, it's the behavior. Level 3 is the behavior. So we have 4 people get it right. Let's see the score. Now Balqis is leading. Abdullah Sharif, Ashik, Azra, and Abir. Great. Get ready. Third question. Learning evaluation level 2 measures. Behavior, learning, business impact. Okay, it's the learning. Great, everybody get it right. So Balqis is leading too again. Hamza is asking. Just Mr. Mashari, can you put the login number, please, the PIN number, if you still have it? Because I think Hamza is looking for it. I'm not sure I can go back to it.
It's shown down in the screen, Toastmaster.
Okay. The learning evaluation level to be used is determined at. Okay, one person got it by chance because we have not talked about it. This is part of the ADU model for the instructional design. So, sorry for this question. We have not talked about, but someone got it. I don't know. Oh, Balqis got it. So maybe you are familiar with the ADU model for instructional design. Okay, next. Visual learners prefer reading a script versus looking at a picture. Yes, visual learners, they want to see things, they don't want to read. Okay, so 8 people get it right. Okay, Balqis is still leading. Great. Then the team Abdullah. Okay. Relevancy oriented means. Okay, great. It's related to participants' work or life. Okay, I think everybody is excited to see the result. 6 people get it right. Great. Balqis is still leading. Alina, the team Abdullah. Okay. 2 more questions. 3 more questions. Which of the following is not part of the adults' learning principles? Adults are Okay, adults are not fast-paced. There's probably children are faster. Okay, let's see. You've got 4 people get it right. Uh-huh. Now we have Alina. Okay, 2 more questions. The main component of the development stage, okay, you know, this is general knowledge. So, sorry, it's just testing your general knowledge about the ADDIE model for structural design. So normally in the development, that's when you produce the participant manual. No one got it right. Sorry. Last question. Okay, so Alina is still leading. So the order did not change as a result of this question. That's great. Let's see, last question. Whoever gets this question maybe will be the winner. 1, 2, 3, go. Facilitations includes all the following except yes, lecturing is not facilitation. Great, 6 people got it right. So let's see who is the winner now. Alina, congratulations. You are the winner for today. So you have a prize for this. If you send me your information, please, I will send you your prize from the TMI. Congratulations. This is great. You know, the idea of this one is, you know, first to test, maybe to test our knowledge, but that's not important. The other thing is that when we do training, try to use any kind of technology. Kahoot, it's a free website. You can go create your own quizzes. You can use it for survey, for quiz, for discussion. It's a great tool. You can use it. It's free of charge. All you have to do is just create your account, and then you can create your own question. Normally, this is a question for every course I do. I have some question, and so because it's good, it shows some kind of competition, so also learning. And if we do it at the end of the session, it means this is level. Which level is this? Level 2, yes. If you said level 2, that's right. Level 2 is the learning. Great, so congratulations, Alina. Okay, thank you very much. Maybe for the rest of the time, we have maybe 21 minutes. If you have any comments, questions, reflection, or some information you would like to share with you, please come to the mic and tell us the result. Let me just take this.
Yes, hello. Please raise your hand if you need to participate in a question, or write your question in the box meant for questions.
Toastmaster Alina, please, you see my email on the screen. Please send me your mailing address. I will send you your gift.
And also the material for Toastmaster Abir. She could email you also.
Yes, if you need the material, let me know. By the way, this is the main component of this presentation of today is from speaker to trainer. This is the Toastmaster, but also I have added my own material. So probably half of it is from the Toastmaster, but also some of it is from my own experience.
Okay, there's a question from the Toastmaster Afdal. He's asking, as a beginner, to become a trainer, what would you suggest for starters, or where to start?
Okay, let's start with the Toastmaster. So if you have attended maybe this session or maybe other sessions, so at least now you know the basic of how to conduct your session. What I would recommend is start with the Toastmaster. Choose one of the module and read the trainer guide for it, and maybe get some advice from people. If you think that I'm in a capacity to maybe to help you in some place, you can just call me. If you are Toastmaster Afdal from Riyadh, then I know you very well and you know me very well, so you can maybe just call me if you want to prepare, and maybe we can have some tips on this one. Okay, any other questions we have?
Toastmaster Azwa, your mic is not working, so you could type a question.
Toastmaster Mshari?
Yes, DTM Abdullah.
Yes, I would reflect here, and I would like to thank DTM Saud Al-Umair for his excellent presentation, and to reflect on some questions asked by people. That the first one was from Abir about the evaluation guide. We have circulated the evaluation guide that is part of the Toastmasters International manuals. It is there in the group. It is there it will be part of the Dropbox. So you will find the evaluation guide for evaluators who will evaluate the trainer, who will conduct sessions from TMI manuals. This is one thing. The second point about the facilitation manual. Team Saud mentioned that the facilitation manual is part of the 15 manuals of advanced manuals. Yes, it is there. It is called Facilitation Manual. So this is the answer of, I believe, Toastmaster Fahmi when he asked about it.
Thank you, DTM Abdullah. Do we have any more questions, Toastmaster Mshari?
One moment. I think Toastmaster Abdulaziz, he wants to ask a question. Toastmaster Abdulaziz, unmute your mic, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Salam alaikum, Yusuf.
I just want to thank you very much, DTM Saud, for this great session. And I would like to ask, is there any minimum requirement for anyone to deliver training, for especially for those who are just beginners in Toastmaster? They are asking this question.
Okay, so I will leave this question to DTM Abdullah because he's leading the initiative. Abu Abdurrahman?
Yes, thank you, Abu Yusuf, for your question. And the minimum requirement that we are required all the time, the willingness and capability. If the person has the willingness to train people and capability, so these are the only two requirements that we ask and we recommend. Other than this, no. We encourage everyone to go ahead, to participate, to discover the trainer within himself.
Thank you very much, Dr. Abdullah.
Shukran, Abu Yusuf.
A question from Toastmaster Afdal: how we are going to be used for district programs. This will give us a particular approach with the guidance from like DTM Saud.
Okay. Again, this is for DTM Abdullah. Anything related to the Toastmaster training, that's Abdullah, DTM Abdullah responsibility. So I'll leave it for him.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Afdal. And as we mentioned at the beginning, and we continued saying that with the basic training that you got today from DTM Saud, that differentiated between being a speaker and being a trainer, you have now the basic skills to go ahead and train your people. This is the first point. The second point, that you need to keep contacting your club officers, area director and division director, to give you the chances available within the division, within the area, within the club, to conduct such training. When it comes to the district level, we will help facilitating the sessions with the district, and mainly in the main event, like the district executive committee meeting, the district council meeting, and maybe during SATAC, there will be sessions, and we will utilize the people who showed the interest, the willingness, the capability to train people. So not everyone will be given the chance, only the people who show the willingness and the interest to train people. So part of it from you and for you to take it with your people, and part of it will take it for you. Okay.
Most of the attendees are thanking you, Toastmaster Abdullah and Toastmaster Saud, such as Abir and Alina and Joseph. We have a question from Toastmaster Saeed. I will open the mic for Toastmaster Saeed.
Assalamu alaikum, and thanks a lot for DTM Abdullah, DTM Saud, and also Yom Shari. Only one question to DTM Saud. As you say that you started the training since 2007, what's the most important recommendation you would recommend it to the trainer? Let's say, to say it in one sentence, what's the most important recommendation you'll give it to us as a beginner in this training? Thank you.
Okay, in one sentence, I will say training 101, adults learning principles. If we know this very well, definitely we can be great for trainers.
A question from Toastmaster Azira. This is the beginning. What is next?
Okay, I think maybe next, DTM Abdullah might say that, okay, you choose one of the manuals, the module, and maybe start presenting at your club. So this is if you want to do it within the Toastmaster community. If you want to do training outside, I would say try to choose some, okay, building your expertise. So what's the area you are expert in, and maybe you can develop some program, and maybe you can promote it and do it. One of the things that helped me a lot, because if you have it in some of my training, I do sometimes, training that's not very familiar with people. So what I do, normally if I read a book, I like it, then after that, I just change the book, convert the book into a training session. So I develop a training session based on that book. So if you are familiar, for example, if, one of my sessions about successful people from good to great, I use a book by Marshall Goldsmith about what get you there, and I choose the habits that he has in the book and change it into a training program, into a workshop. I also have another workshop about the garbage truck. It's a good book, I like it, and I put it like in a session. So maybe you can choose area of expertise, or maybe a book that you like, and put that book in a form of a workshop. But if you're talking about the Toastmaster context, maybe DTM Abdullah will tell us about it. But definitely talk about maybe one of the modules. So DTM Abdullah, you want to elaborate what's next in the Toastmaster context?
Yes, thank you, DTM. So you clarify the point that if you are going to conduct sessions within the Toastmasters, you need to adhere to the Toastmasters guidelines, manuals, and modules available within TMI. If you are conducting these sessions outside Toastmaster community, so as mentioned by the team Saud, it is your choice that you prepare your materials and conduct it the way that you present and express yourself very well. So you are presenting and representing yourself as well as the TMI. I encourage you to be comprehensive, knowledgeable about your knowledge and your topic that you will present.
Toastmaster. Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Abdullah. There's a Toastmaster Afdal is also thanking you both DTM Abdullah and DTM Saud. And Toastmaster Abir is asking, after we complete this project or training, are we getting official certificates? If yes, who will be signed? It will be signed by who? And that's all.
DTM Abdullah, you want to respond to that question?
Yeah, we could provide certificates, but the main point here that is not the certificate, is the skills that you will develop within yourself. Please think of the skills, the capabilities that you will develop within yourself, not the certificate. Certificate is an easy, and we can give certificate, no problem. But the important thing that you have the capability that you developed within yourself. Many things will happen during SATAC. When you progress in the program, you will see something different during SATAC next year.
Thank you, DTM Abdullah. There's a question by Toastmaster Azra. Are the manuals available in the Toastmaster website? Hello?
Yes, Toastmaster Shari. No, would you please repeat the question? I didn't get it.
Okay, Toastmaster Ezra asking, are the manuals available in the Toastmaster website? This is the last question, by the way.
Yes, the manuals are available at TMI website, and we will send today link to the Dropbox that you will find all the files available in the Dropbox. We will find a link. We will send the link to the group, WhatsApp group. Is that clear?
Yes, DTM Abdullah, thank you very much. I would like to thank both of you, DTM Saud, DTM Abdullah, and also all the attendees that attend this session. And I will leave the mic first for you, DTM Abdullah, and then DTM Saud, then we will conclude this session.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank you, Toastmaster Mshari, for conducting this session, taking us in this journey for the last 2 hours. Also, I would like to thank very much the team Saud Al-Umair for bringing us the basic skills for being trainers, and I am sure that this is the foundation for each one of us to start our journey. I would like also to thank everyone, either attended or participated with us today, or those who couldn't make it, and they will listen to this session. Thank you very much, and we need to start our journey. It is your call now that you have put yourself on the first, the ground, and you need to continue the journey based on your capability. We are here to just help and facilitate your journey. If you don't have the capability, the willingness to continue your journey, no one could help you. So it is your call. Start from today. Gather your information, the knowledge, select your topics, contact your people, and start delivering your sessions. Again, thank you very much all. And I hope that we will see you in different sessions.
Thank you, DTM Abdullah. DTM Saud, the mic is yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mishari. It's been a pleasure, my pleasure today to do maybe this session. It's a very short session, but it's about the basic thing that we need to know as trainers. Can you see my slide, by the way? Or is it not there?
Yes, it's there. We can see it and your details are there.
Okay, great. So what I have shown, some of the resources for trainers, some of the books, maybe the website. If you want to do, especially if you want to go beyond the Toastmaster community and do your own training, I would suggest that you utilize huge resources for trainers in the internet. So Kahoot is a website that you can use to have the same quiz that we have done today. It's about Kahoot. Another one is umu.com is also very similar to this one. Maybe it has more features, so we can also use it. If you want to do a training and you do not have the material, you do not have the slides, maybe you can go to Prezi. Prezi is a website, and Prezi a huge number of prepared presentations. You can take them, you can modify them, you change them, and of course they have a very interactive way of doing that. Also SlideShare, you go to SlideShare and you just check it. For example, you say, I want to have maybe a session on motivation or maybe leadership. All you have to do, go to SlideShare and search. You'll find a huge. LearnPress also, you can find a lot of material. Tyagi.com. Tyagi, he's American, originally from India, and he is the guru of what he called Jolt. Jolt is like training games or activities. So if you go to his website or you buy some of his book, you will find a lot of things that you can use, like open or some maybe games in team building or in leadership or in time management, anything that you'll find. Tiago has great resources for that. So you go to his website and maybe you can even search in the YouTube. 2 books also I bought as resources. 10-Minute Trainer by a lady called Sharon Bowman. She has a great book. It's about 10-minute trainer. So the concept of Sharon Bowman is say that you need to do something after each 10 minutes. Each 10 minutes you have to do something so you do not lose the attention of your participants. Another book is The Active Training. It's also a huge book, very good book by a gentleman called Mel Silberman or something. Mel something, Silberman. So these are some of the books you use. You can also use the community of the Toastmaster. The Toastmaster DTM Abdullah gave me the pleasure of being one of the advisor for this initiative. So if you want to ask me about anything, maybe I hope I can help, or maybe ask other people. So just utilize the resources, but my point is that start with the Toastmaster, but you need to end with a professional training if you have the passion. If you have the passion, anything that can be developed. It's been my pleasure again. I really appreciate all the effort. And thank you, DTM Abdullah, for the leading initiative and for giving me the opportunity to do this session. Thank you very much for your participation. You're waking up early in the weekend. So this shows a lot about your passion to the training. I wish you all the best. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you all. Again, thank you, DTM Abdullah. Thank you, DTM Saud. And thanks to all the attendees that came today. And to see you again in another session by District 79 webinar. I now conclude this session. Until then, we will meet again. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.